I feel nauseous, believe me. Never had a lot of shit come easy.
Welcome all, this is the Australian Indie Wrestling Cast, fellow wrestlers, trainees, event support staff, friends, foes, and everyone in between. If you have a topic, you can reach out to the Don. The Don, how are you, my friend? I hear you just straight off on a flight to Japan after this.
Yes, yeah. So we're recording this, and then I'm hitting the airwaves, and then may end up missing out next week. But for now, we're here. We're here this week. Very excited. It's been a huge weekend of wrestling all across the country, like absolutely massive. But my weekend, we had our what we call a trainee showcase, which is for all the guys who are just about on that level, ready to be on
And
shows.
this is an explosive pro wrestling Perth.
Yes, at the school there. Yep. And it's just all the guys who are training, giving them a chance to do some reps with some more experienced guys. Just so it's no storylines, nothing to do with anyone. It's closed doors. It's just for family and friends and other wrestlers and the trainers, and just to get everyone moving, see where they're at, how they go, with a little bit of rah-rah announcements and stuff like that. So
First run with the trainers really in front of a crowd, sort of thing.
Yeah, that's it. And it went really well. A lot of people obviously just, and it helps to give them direct feedback from even the bookers on the main shows. You know what I mean? Like just people who are watching it and say, look, if you want to move up, this is where you need to work. So it's a great thing all around. I ended up working with one of the young crew and, not surprised, but really happy with where they're at and what they're doing. I was disappointed with my cardiovascular levels, trying to keep up with the young kids, but it just makes me realize I need to step my game up or get left behind, which is great for everyone involved.
Well, speaking of stepping up and getting left behind, there's a training camp going on right now, and
that's it. Yeah. So Damian Slater and David Storm just in the midst of running their winter camp, which builds up to this weekend, where we have because we've got all these people from interstate coming to train. It's a 2-night show at the end of this week. So that these guys can basically put into practice what they have learned during the training camp, and then get to work with some of our newer guys as well, some of our more experienced guys as well. Like it's all a nice little comes together in a nice little unit. But yeah, it's going to be huge. 2 nights, Friday and Saturday. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be here for it. I say I'm leaving on a jet plane, and but I'll be back, and hopefully I can watch it all and see what happened and hope it all comes out well, which I'm sure it will.
I'm sure it will.
It's an exciting couple of weeks coming up. But speaking of Damian Slater and David Storm, have had these running for the last few years. They've had heaps of people come through the doors. Guys like Matt Hayter, who have just become the RCW heavyweight champion this weekend as well. So that was huge.
Yeah, that was at Riot City 300. So that was
Riot City
mad.
300.
Defeated, is it Chris Basso? And Chris Basso had a bit of a run there, challenging Down Under and stuff, and basically going against ACW and kicking that off.
Yeah. So the ACW, like we've said in previous pods, have just rebranded and not restarted, but have a fresh lick of paint and a new outlook, and doing a lot of work with RCW as well. But yeah, Chris Basso, one of the long-time Adelaide wrestling, I wouldn't say let's say legend. He's just been doing it for so long, and is just an amazing worker. And he is sort of not older generation. Well, probably is one of the older generation because he's around my sort of generation. But Matt Hayter being a slightly younger generation, having that little passing of the torch kind of moment as well, like raising the youth, which is really important as things move forward. But yeah, so RCW 300, huge show. They sold out, and doing that back and forth with ACW. Things are really heating up.
Released, I think they released Collision Course on YouTube during the week. I've still yet to catch that, so we'll put a link to that in the description.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to check that out. Might find some time on a plane when I'm not doing much. I can watch a whole mess of wrestling.
Surely that's not what you do on your holidays.
Well, if I'm sitting on a plane, not much else to do, to be honest. It's a long flight. But so that's RCW. Speaking of selling out, there's been quite a few shows have been either selling out or just selling ridiculous amounts of tickets, which is fantastic. Was it Dude Where's My Ring last week? They sold out. And yeah, Newey Pro, they sold out Rumble in the Jungle, which was huge for those guys. Like anytime anyone sells out, it's a great thing. Malice Wrestling Federation sold out. MCW 1300 plus is a virtual sellout. You know, is the amount they sold. I don't think they could have fit many more people in there. But yeah, just looking back to it. Sorry?
It's pretty jam-packed.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's exciting stuff around the country. But circling back to Newey Pro, they had their Rumble in the Jungle this weekend, which has become a bit of a staple for them over the years. And yeah, huge event, sellout crowd. Yeah, new
Rumble. Oh, I caught the Rumble in the Jungle. I've only just watched the Rumble, and Carter Deems, is it? Won. But yeah,
it's crazy. I don't think he's been seen for a couple of years.
They did say the returning Carter Deems. So you went and stalked his social media, and it was like 2023.
Now that's a name I've not heard in a long time.
To now,
because you said Carter Deems had won the Rumble, and I was like, man, I didn't think he was. I didn't like, again, not Psycho chats to everyone in wrestling all the time, but yeah, it was just like I hadn't heard much about him or from him for a little while now. I wasn't sure he was still competing, but yeah, I noticed on his social media hadn't been competed since 2023.
I'll tell you what, Don, there was one thing while I was watching the Rumble. I had to really listen, and it wasn't till I caught his Tron that I realised that is Carter Deems. They are saying Deems, because they were also saying a lot of this man, he is, and they weren't using his name. It was like, this man, he is, and it's like, we are all Australian and all that shit. Like, fuck.
I am, you are, yeah.
Yeah, but Carter Deems has won the Newcastle Rumble in the Jungle, so that's good. So go catch that. There'll be a link in the description and floating around Don's head somewhere. For about 5 seconds. Yeah. I'll try and cue that. But then wasn't he Grayson Waller's old tag team partner, or?
Yes. Before Matty Grayson Waller was Grayson Waller, he was Matty Wahlberg, and they teamed together. And I think before he left the first time, I think they had the blow up of the team. Wahlberg went to the
Wii.
Made his dreams come true.
Yep.
Made his deems come true. No,
made his deems, all his deems. May all your deems come too. I can't talk like Eugene on the YouTube. So, speaking of Grayson, he's in the WWE, and so are many others. What smooth transition was that? But
right there.
Yeah, a lot of Aussies. Rhea Ripley was in the main event of Evolution, so that was cool to see. Just obviously absolutely killing it.
Just doing her thing and just being Rhea Ripley, and it's just every time you see it, something new is happening. Even when she's injured, there's still something revolving around her to make that happen. So it's great to see.
I saw a little thing on the Labubu she wears to the ring, and I was like, oh my god, I'm spending too much time on the internet.
Hey, what you got there?
Why are you spoiling my stuff? Why are you filming my Labubu like that?
I'm sorry.
He doesn't like the camera, okay? And look, I just realized that my pants are like my Labubu's face. But if you don't get it out of here quickly, he bites. And so do I.
Look.
Bye.
Go out and touch some grass. Speaking about who won't be touching grass for a while is Seth Rollins with a major injury. He won't be touching his toes for a while either. But this could be good or bad news for Bronson Reed. Hopefully it's good news, or hopefully, comes out of this with a better storyline. But hopefully they don't lose him in the mid-card shuffle.
Well, that's it, because it's only like he was doing this big monster build, and then he was injured, and then when that sort of stuff happens, you don't know where it's going to go. And then luckily, as he's come back from injury, they've inserted him into
they brought him back in a big way.
Seth Rollins, and Bron Breakker, which is just good because it's eyes on him with really popular people, as well as obviously he's a popular wrestler as well himself. But and then removing Seth Rollins from that crew when he's not so much the linchpin, but like the lead character.
He's the nucleus.
Nuclear. It's pronounced nuclear.
Whatever.
Nuclear.
Yeah, interesting to see where they'll go from here, because do they end up having Bron Breakker become that front man for the team, and then it creates some animosity there, and then you've got, from what I hear, his cousin Scott Steiner's son is just making his way possibly into wrestling. So it's who knows where it's going to go.
He'll take another 18 months, 6 months at least, until he's cooked. Ding.
Yeah.
You know, so but you know, as I was thinking to myself, you know, if you take Seth Rollins away from that group, hopefully they'll still keep their eyes on him and stuff.
Yeah.
On Bronson Reed. See, now I'm doing it. We are.
Yeah.
See.
Well, actually, that you bring it up, it makes an interesting point. Like, what makes a good commentator? Like, knowing, like, you listen to people talk about they announce it like if you could just listening to it on the radio, a good commentator should be able to bring that level of information to someone who maybe isn't visually capturing what's going on. Even though we're a very visual business in pro wrestling, you know, then you get the problem of some commentators, they repeat things so much that it sort of becomes irritating. And this is, I suppose, it's that fine line of bringing that information of the history of what's about to happen and building intrigue and stuff like that, and then relying how much do they to the fans know who this person is and what's happening. Be an interesting note to know what people consider what's good for commentary. Just obviously giving all the information, you know what I mean?
Yeah, as it was a Rumble, there was a lot of people coming out, you know, and a couple I knew. There was a couple of miscellaneous bald men with beards that I did and stuff.
Yep.
So, you know, like I was like, oh, who is that? And, you know, like when it's like this man, he's down. Oh, you know, it doesn't really help. So I think like maybe sometimes you do have to like treat the person as they haven't seen them before, because we hadn't seen the winner in 2 years. Carter Deems.
You get to get a new fan who's been watching it for a solid year, and who's really hyped up, and they go, "Oh, this guy's back." They're like, "Who the fuck's this guy?"
Yep. So
hopefully, and it just sort of takes away.
Well, bringing it back, hopefully Bronson Reed will be mentioned many times by Michael Cole and all those people over the next few weeks. But yeah, going over to AEW, they also had a few big pay-per-views on, and I saw Kyle Fletcher have a few. Yeah, all in Texas. Saw Kyle Fletcher have a few killer matches over the weekend. And but Toni Storm, of course, was standing out again, doing some weird shit in and out of the ring. Like, well, that's the only way I can describe it as a collective. You know, like basically doing some. What do you? I don't want to say doing some funny stuff, because it all wasn't funny. Like some, in one moment, she was corpsing, and then the other moment she was shaking her ass doing Monet's moves, which has had this had us laughing, and then next minute she's sitting next to Tony Khan out the back at the press conference, talking about how she's going to cream her panties and stuff. You know, like it's just like, oh my god, like she's like definitely getting the sound bites out there. As they used to say, you know, and getting the clips out there. So it's good to see Toni Storm getting over. Like, you know, she doesn't need 15 belts like someone else. You know,
which is interesting. People, they got to. It's actually quite good, because what they do is they not only they tell the story in the ring, but then they've got little bits that for people who aren't watching it, they're doom scrolling on social media. And it will pop up, and just there's a reason for them to watch it, because that's something odd that she's done or said. So definitely keeps the interest, I guess.
I don't know if you've ever tried to keep up with AEW before, but following their social media is a huge component of trying to understand what the fuck is going on. So yeah, that it's good to see Toni Storm killing it inside and outside of the ring. And hopefully she's getting well paid for her entertainment, because it's keeping
Yeah,
people
yeah,
darn
yeah.
entertained and selling a few shirts, I'd say.
That's it. Yeah, Aussies battling on.
Well, speaking
Yeah,
of
that's
battling on, we're going to cut it short. So what's on the weekend?
Let's get ready for the wrap around the country. So yes, this is brought to you by Michael Lee from the Australian wrestling community. So big ups, props to our people over there, helping us out to get the information to the people. In the ACT, Extreme Capital Wrestling have guilty verdict on Saturday the 19th. Then we're moving on to New South Wales with Rock and Roll Wrestling School Holiday Super Show, Friday 18th, Saturday 19th of July. All-Star Wrestling Australia has Reach for the Sky on Saturday, July the 19th. Explicit Wrestling have the Pit 7 on the 19th. International Wrestling Australia, IWA, have Saturday the 19th and Sunday the 20th, Drifters Warfare. In Queensland, we have IPW, Impact Pro Wrestling Australia, Toa Takeover, The Reunion on the Saturday. United Pro Wrestling Entertainment has Over the Top 8 on the Saturday, and Queensland Wrestling Alliance have Palm Trees and Pile Drivers on the 19th as well. Moving down to the south of Australia in SA, Wrestle Rampage have Live at the Dojo on Saturday, July the 19th. Moving across to Victoria, PCW Professional Championship Wrestling have Evolution and Ignition on Thursday the 17th and 19th. Alpha Pro Wrestling have Thursday Night Fights 9, Energy and Ruthless Rumble Thursday the 17th and Saturday the 19th. Mayhem Pro have a showcase on Friday the 18th, and Adrenaline Pro Wrestling Breakout 58 is Friday, July 18th. And then in the home state, which I will not be in, EPW have Interstate Invasion, which we spoke about at the top of the program, Friday the 18th of July and Saturday the 19th of July. Big two-night event with heaps and heaps of interstate talent. So if you're in Perth, definitely get down there and check it out. And NHPW, New Horizon Pro Wrestling, have Anti-Everything on July the 19th. So there is I feel like week after week, there is just wrestling on wrestling on wrestling. It's just, there is so much going on. If you are in Australia, there is plenty of wrestling going on. Head on down to the places that you enjoy, buy a ticket, enjoy the night, help support that show. If you want to support a specific wrestler, make sure you hit the merch table. The money, if you buy a t-shirt or a sticker or a photo, any of that for a specific wrestler goes straight in their pocket to help them build their wrestling dream. So yeah, please get around to wrestling, support your local wrestling, support your favorite wrestlers. And thanks for watching. We'll see you maybe next week. Probably not next week. I'm not going to be here, but hopefully the week after, as long as I make the flight back. But thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.